Felix's sweetheart died because of me, and he resented me for 10 years. By the time I died of illness, he hadn't forgiven me. When I was reborn on the day it happened, I decided to fulfill their wish and die in her place. Luckily, I failed to die and faked my death instead. I started a new life, leaving Felix behind. 2 years later, Felix saw my photo unexpectedly and realized I was still alive. They say he went crazy right then and there. 10 years into marriage, Felix finally found a stand-in for his lost sweetheart. She was just a college girl. All it took was a face that was 60% like Molly's to drive Felix crazy and spoil her like crazy. Her family was poor, so Felix funded her education. When she needed to intern, he made her his assistant, and the two were inseparable. Felix once promised me that on my 35th birthday, we'd go for a walk by the sea. It had been over 10 years since we last went there together. Ever since Molly was lost to the sea, on my birthday, I put on lipstick to cover my pale, sickly lips, wore fancy clothes to hide my skinny frame. I waited by the sea all day, and not a single call from Felix. It wasn't until nightfall that his secretary told me he couldn't come due to some emergency. I found the college student's account from memory. She posted a photo, and in the corner, you could see a hand. Definitely Felix's. The minute I said I had cramps, he dropped everything and rushed over, even made porridge for me himself. Isn't he sweet? So cute. The tumor in my brain pressed on my nerves, causing so much pain I could barely stand. I was close to being set free. I laughed silently at the sea. Molly, I'm nearly there to pay off this debt to you. Felix returned home in the early hours. He glanced at me on the sofa and said flatly, "Aren't you going to sleep?" "Felix, I need to tell you something." "I know what you want to say." He slowly undid his tie. Even at 35, he kept in great shape, embodying all the charm of a mature man. No wonder a 20-year-old college girl found him appealing. I was indeed with the assistant tonight. She wasn't feeling well, and no one was around, so I thought I'd check on her. Just wanted to see how she was doing. "I'll take you to the sea another day." "It's not about that." He looked surprised. "Then what is it?" I was considering how to start. Felix took another guess. "Birthday gift?" "I asked my secretary to pass it on to you." "No, not that." Felix's patience ran out. "Lily, I'm really tired today. If you have something to say, just say it. Don't waste my time. I'm in the late stages of brain cancer." I pushed the diagnosis report in front of him. Had thought of 100 ways to break it to him, but ended up using none. Felix couldn't believe it, looking over the report repeatedly. The house was dreadfully silent. "Is this for real? This is a top-tier hospital, would they fake that?" Felix finally showed some emotion beyond impatience. But only for a moment. He quickly gathered himself, put the report down. "It's late, go to bed." "Is that all you want to say?" So much disappointment, it turned into a breakdown. "Felix, I'm dying. This might be my last birthday alive." He stopped walking, letting me throw cushions and cups at him without dodging or resisting. When I calmed down, he wiped his face and smiled cruelly. "Lily, tell me, isn't this karma?" I was suddenly stunned. Then he said the rest. Karma for indirectly causing Molly's death. Felix left those words and went into his bedroom. The door closed heavily, shutting all my faint hopes away. But I knew Felix was right. Molly's death was partly my fault. Until I was 22, Felix, Molly, and I were inseparable, a tight-knit trio. But, truth be told, I was always the odd one out. They were both wealthy, had elite education from a young age, lots of shared interests. If it weren't for Molly considering me her best friend, I'd have had no place there. Then, just like all those cliché love triangles, I fell for Felix, but Felix only had eyes for Molly. My secret crush was insignificant. On Molly's 22nd birthday, I suggested celebrating at sea. Coincidentally, she had a small private yacht that hadn't been used yet. Molly liked the idea, canceling her high-end venue booking to have her party at sea instead. The party lasted several days. At first, everything was calm, but on the third day, disaster struck. The yacht suffered a malfunction, water gushed in, and it was estimated to sink within 20 minutes. There were 17 of us on board, and just 2 lifeboats, fitting 16 people max. Someone had to stay behind to wait for rescue. To be fair, Molly suggested drawing lots for who stays. Unfortunately, I drew the short straw. After everyone boarded the lifeboats, Molly suddenly snatched the straw from my hand. Lily, you go first. No, I drew the straw. Are you silly? Molly smiled at me. Even as the campus beauty, her smile was breathtaking. I can swim, you can't, so you go first. I can hold out longer than you. No. If you're staying, I'm staying too. Don't make trouble for me. Maybe by the time you reach land, I'll have swum there too. Molly pushed me onto the lifeboat without another word. She looked at Felix and said, "Take care of her." Those were Molly's last words to us. Just as our lifeboat left, a storm hit. The extreme weather slowed down the rescue team, and by the time they arrived, the yacht had completely sunk. Molly couldn't be saved. Emergency responders found her body among the sunken wreckage. Felix had planned to confess his love to Molly once we got back to land. He had gifts and flowers already, but his beloved stayed forever in the sea. Since then, Felix started to hate me. If it weren't for me convincing Molly to go to sea, she wouldn't have died. If I hadn't swapped tickets, I'd be the one who died. Later, Felix saw my diary and found out about my crush on him. He sneered and mocked me. Like me? You think you're worthy? But then a week later, Felix suddenly proposed to me with a diamond ring. It was a grand scene. Photos went viral online. Everyone said they'd never seen a diamond that big. They also said the prince and Cinderella story was heartwarming. But they didn't know. In reality, the prince never looked at Cinderella. Felix married me purely because of Molly's dying words. He took really good care of me, just didn't love me. Felix never cheated. He probably wanted Molly's soul at peace. For 10 years, he tried to maintain a marriage with me, until he met this person who looked like Molly, and Felix's heart came alive again. My illness got worse. Felix never came to see me in the hospital. He was always busy, with work and spending time with his assistant. On the TV in my hospital room, a charity gala was being broadcast. Felix was there in a suit, with Linda, his assistant, right behind him. Linda's makeup was done meticulously, making her look more like Molly. Then my eyes caught the necklace on her neck. That was Molly's necklace. When I was 20, I only said once, "This necklace is beautiful." Molly took it off and gave it to me. I later found out it was something her brother bought for millions at an auction. Molly said, "What's a few million? Lily is my best friend. She deserves it." After she died, I locked the necklace away in a jewelry box and couldn't bear to open it. Now, how dare Felix put it on someone else without my consent? With my last breath, I called him. "What's up?" His cold voice came through. "Busy today, talk later." No one can replace her. I abruptly interrupted him. No matter what he was busy with, I forced out every word. "No one can replace Molly." "Felix, you're offending her." Felix was stunned for a long time. I was too tired. After hanging up, I closed my eyes for good. The day I died, there was a storm and heavy rain. So much like the day Molly had her accident. "Lily, do you like ash?" A familiar sweet voice pulled me back. I was reborn. 22-year-old Molly sat before me, her smile radiant. "Don't deny it. What are friends for? You can't hide it from me." I was stunned. Then she said, "Did I guess right? Don't worry. I'll create some alone time for you two tonight. Make the most of it." I rushed forward and hugged Molly tight. She smelled of familiar jasmine. She was alive and breathing. "Lily, what's wrong? Did someone bully you? Tell me, and I'll stand up for you." "No, I just..." Before I could finish, an alarm rang. Yacht malfunction. "Everyone gather on deck now." Immediately. "Oh no, not again. I just got reborn." Everyone uneasily gathered at the front of the yacht. It was already tilting, the rear starting to sink. And just like before, the weather was getting worse. Like last time, they decided by drawing lots who would stay for rescue. I took a deep breath and snatched the short straw. "It's me, no need to draw anymore." Everyone except Molly sighed in relief and dashed to the lifeboat. That's when I noticed Felix was behaving strangely. In my previous life, he was the one in command, organizing everyone to board the lifeboat orderly. Now he stood there blankly, eyes void, only getting on the lifeboat after being pushed. Like he'd lost his soul. Never mind him. Holding the short straw tightly, I counted down 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. As expected, Molly lunged to grab my lot. I anticipated her move and dodged. "What are you doing?" I pretended to be surprised. She said, "Lily, let's switch. You go first, I'll stay for rescue. I can swim, I'm tougher than you." I shook my head. "No, it's my fate to be chosen." "What nonsense. You forget, I have a swimming coach certificate. You go first. Maybe by the time you reach shore, I'll swim there too. Thank you, Molly. In my last life, I didn't even get to say thank you. This time I made it right. Why the thanks? Aren't we best friends? Of course. Then live well for me. Molly looked puzzled. But the look on Felix's face, after I said those words, his pupils contracted sharply. He seemed to come back to life, staring at me intently. The next second, I pushed Molly onto the lifeboat. This time it's my turn to die. I felt at ease as I sank with the ship's tail. Then I heard Felix shouting desperately over the sea. Lily! How strange. Did he ever call my name like that in my past life? I turned back, meeting his eyes full of despair and devastation. Those weren't the eyes of 22-year-old Felix. They were the eyes of the 35-year-old Felix. He got reborn too. I calmly closed my eyes. So what if you're reborn? The ending is set. Felix, I owe you nothing now. My body continued to sink into the sea, deeper and deeper. In the bottomless dark, a light suddenly lit up my world. Time flew by. It's been 2 years since my rebirth. I walked through the campus in England, looking down at my messages. Molly. Ding dong, your darling is arriving in London tomorrow. Me. Ready anytime to pick you up. Molly. I'll bring you spicy strips. Me. You're my goddess girl. Foreign classmate beside me asked, what's making you so happy? I couldn't help but smile. Surviving a near-death experience, how could I not be happy? Who would have thought I made it out alive? In that shipwreck 2 years ago, just when the yacht was pulling me down, a small rescue boat appeared. It cut through the fog and storm, rapidly closing in on me. What happened next, I don't remember. When I awoke from a coma, I was already in a hospital abroad. There's a familiar face beside me, strikingly handsome, with features that seem a bit cool. Awake. The doctor said you're out of danger. I took a moment to remember who this was. Nolan, the brother who was strict and uptight, but spent millions to get a necklace for Molly. Did you save me? Yeah. Nolan explained simply. The day of the accident, he noticed a change in the weather at sea. He immediately sent out a lifeboat just in case. Turns out it really saved me. I'm grateful, but also a bit confused. Did this happen in my past life? Before I could figure it out, Nolan got up to leave. By the way, I haven't told anyone, not even Molly, about saving you. He paused briefly and looked at me. I thought you might have your own plans. According to Nolan, everyone thought I was dead. Molly locked herself at home, refusing to eat or drink, drowning in tears. Felix paid for a team to recover my body. He spent a fortune and wouldn't give up until he had a body. But in the end, he only found my bracelet. That was a birthday gift from Felix when I was in my sophomore year of high school. Ever since I got it, I've never taken it off. Felix held the bracelet, kneeling on the rescue boat, and cried. On the day I was discharged, I decided to tell Molly that I was alive. Upon hearing the news, Molly flew to the UK and hugged me while sobbing her heart out. We decided she'd keep it a secret, pretend Lily had died. Molly can keep a pretty tight lip. 2 years passed, and besides my family, only the siblings knew I was alive. I guess this near-death experience was truly a rebirth. I changed my name and cut off my long waist-length hair. Felix once said he liked girls with long black hair, so I never changed hairstyles after that. For this new life, I wanted to live for myself. As a tech girl, the UK had my dream school. Imperial College, ranked 10th globally. I stayed working and studying. Nolan wanted to help me. He said, you don't have to work so hard. I'll provide you housing. Just focus on applying for your master's. I shook my head. Thanks, but I want to do it myself. You've helped me enough. He sighed lightly. Over time, Nolan and I grew closer. Once I asked, why are you willing to help me for free? Because you're Molly's best friend. The answer was flawless. In the end, I successfully got into Imperial College for my master's, returning to campus life. After Molly graduated, she worked at her family's company and had a lot of free time. She'd fly to London to see me now and then. The young lady could easily afford a top-floor suite in a 5-star hotel. But she'd insist on squeezing into my tiny dorm room every single time. We'd chat, binge shows, and gossip just like before. To my surprise, she and Felix didn't end up together. In fact, they drifted apart. When I asked why, Molly firmly said, I don't know what conflict you had with Felix, but I have a principle. Anyone my best friend dislikes is my lifelong enemy. My best friend can't be wrong. And if she is, then wrong has to be right. I laughed at her bold declaration. Then Molly added, but maybe you're mistaken. Felix doesn't seem to like me. It's you he loves. No way. But he's gone all strange because of you. Molly mumbled. Ever since your incident, he's been saying things I can't understand like, I was wrong. Please come back. I'll never seek out the assistant again. And stuff like that. Once, I even caught him kneeling in front of your picture, talking to himself, and crying his heart out. According to my wishes, my family and Molly held a funeral for me. I gave an awkward smile and changed the topic. How long are you staying this time? To celebrate your birthday. I'll leave in half a month. We snuggled under the covers, chatting about everything from reality shows to our favorite celebrities. In the end, I'm not sure who fell asleep first. The next morning, Molly's scream woke me up. Lily, I'm so sorry. Lily was just my nickname, so I never bothered correcting it. What happened? I asked. Felix saw our photo. Yesterday, Molly sent some food pics to our class group. She accidentally included a picture with me in it. She realized and quickly deleted it, thinking no one saw. But someone did and shared it with Felix. Felix went nuts and called Molly countless times. But Molly sleeps like the dead and didn't hear a thing. When she woke up, she had hundreds of messages from Felix. His last one said he was already on his way to the UK. What are we gonna do? Molly asked teary-eyed. Face whatever comes our way. Got it. You mean round up some guys to beat him back, right? Why not just hire a hitman? Sure. Chill, I'm kidding. But for real, Felix did show up. The photo was taken near the school. With the buildings as a clue, Felix easily figured it was at Imperial College. I was confident. The campus was huge. How could he find me? But I forgot. You can't throw around a flag so carelessly. That Thursday, I was carrying a stack of materials heading to the lab. I rounded a corner and bumped into someone head-on. Sorry. A familiar voice spoke. No time to run away. I looked up and saw Felix. It had been 2 years and Felix looked different. More mature, heavier with thoughts. At that moment, I was really glad I covered myself up well. I had a hat on, and a scarf wrapped below my eyes. My papers scattered, and I kept my head down, picking them up without a word. Felix stared blankly at my eyes. Did he recognize something? I quickly gathered my things and made a fast escape. Thought I dodged a bullet. Day 2 there was a theory class. The WeChat group created by the Chinese students in the class was buzzing. Who's that guy in the last row? Never seen him before. No idea, probably just crashing the class. Our boring major. And someone wants to crash? He's kinda cute. I couldn't help but turn around for a peek. Wait, is that Felix? He seemed to notice me too. Our eyes met briefly, and I quickly turned away. I desperately hoped he hadn't seen my face clearly. But throughout the whole class, I felt his intense gaze on my back. When class ended, I rushed out first. I thought I had successfully escaped from Felix. But nope, he was faster than me. At the bottom of the building he called out. Hey, aren't you going to take your student card? I stopped in my tracks and checked my pocket. Sure enough, it was missing. Probably dropped it yesterday when we bumped into each other. And he picked it up. His shoes tapped softly on the marble floor. But it sounded suspenseful. The photo on this is pretty, he said. Lily, right? At this point, there was no point in hiding. Felix must have known it was me. That's why he found the classroom so accurately. I turned, snatched the card from his hand. Actually, I'm not Lily. Then where's Lily? She's dead. He looked at me silently. The weather in England changes a lot. And right then a light rain started. Felix's eyes mirrored the weather, all foggy. You've been reborn too, haven't you? He asked gently. Yeah. Felix's eyes turned redder. Why? Because I hate you. Is that reason enough? Enough, more than enough. I was a jerk back then. I hate myself too. But Lily, even if you hate me, don't avoid me, okay? I shot him a confused look. Are you crazy? Acting all lovey-dovey here? Say whatever you want, as long as you're happy. Felix stepped closer and tried to place my hand over his heart. Lily, I realized how much I loved you. But it was too late. God punished me, making me go through your death twice. It tore me apart, but finally today, before he could finish, I yanked my hand away and slapped him hard. Get a grip. I don't love you anymore. Felix's head turned from the slap, and he stood there stunned for a long time. I didn't hold back my strength. A red mark slowly appeared on his cheek. Felix, who'd lived a privileged life, had never been hit before. He touched his face and smiled. A satisfied smile, surprisingly. Just take it as Lily willing to touch me. Molly was right. He was completely bonkers. Feel better? If not, you can hit the other side too. He even offered the other cheek. Disgusted, I stepped back. Don't repulse me. Repulse? You think I'm repulsive? Totally. Could you please bear it a little and listen to what I have to say? No, I don't want to hear it. Just then my savior appeared. I spotted a Maybach approaching through the rain and sighed with relief. I gotta go. My boyfriend's here to pick me up. Boyfriend? Felix looked stunned. Following my gaze, a man stepped out of the car, opening a black umbrella. I happily ducked under it and didn't spare Felix another glance. Felix looked gloomy. He knew who it was. It was Nolan. Nolan had business in the UK, so he often stayed in London these years. Before class ended, I sensed things might get tricky, so I texted Nolan in advance to come and save me. Nolan arrived just in time. Thanks for the rescue. Anytime. Has Molly being with you interrupted your studies? No, she had plans to head to France today. Nolan drove me to the grocery store for a few things before dropping me back at the dorm. The hallway was empty. Okay, I'm going in now. I waved at Nolan. But suddenly, he pulled me into a hug and kissed me passionately. The motion sensor light went out. In the darkness, I responded cautiously. Who knew how long we kissed? Only when I was almost out of breath did Nolan let me go a little. When do you think we should tell Molly about us? I whispered, let's wait a bit longer. He seemed hurt. Am I not worth it? That's not it. Our words drowned in another long kiss. Nolan and I had only been together for about 2 weeks. Looking back, it still felt surreal. That day, he calmly asked if I'd consider dating him. I stared at his striking face and somehow nodded. I regretted it a bit after thinking it through. After all, Nolan was my best friend's older brother. Wasn't that kind of complicated? Noticing my hesitance, Nolan asked right away. Do you still like Felix? Of course not. Then just see how it goes. I'm pretty good, not worse than anyone else. You giving it a shot doesn't cost you anything. He made a pretty good point. No need to stay single because of one jerk. Nolan was indeed wonderful, gentle and caring. But being with him felt awkward. We were polite to each other, even though he was to me too. Only in moments like this, with the lights off, did we dare to hold each other. Nolan kissed with lingering intensity, making the grocery bag drop to the floor with a dull thud. Is Lily back? Molly's cheerful voice burst in. She ran to the door full of joy. With the door flung open, alarms went off in my head, and I quickly pushed Nolan away. Caught off guard, Nolan was shoved against the wall with a soft grunt. Probably hurt a bit. I glanced at him apologetically. Huh, bro, what are you doing here? Molly asked, confused. Just bumped into each other. Your brother took me to the store. I quickly diverted the topic. What about you? Weren't you headed to France today? Don't even ask. There's a strike in France. Had to cancel my flight. Nolan said, well, you two chat. I have work to do, so I'll get going. After shutting the door, Molly looked at me closely. Lily, what's up with your lips? They're so red. I touched them guiltily. Had some spicy food on the way. Ha. Serves you right for eating without me. You're absolutely right, princess. You know, I've been feeling like my brother's been acting kinda weird lately. How so? I think he might be dating someone. I got so startled I spilled the water I was pouring. Any evidence? Yeah. Look, he barely ever posted on social media before, like maybe once every 6 months. Now he's posting all the time, and it's all meaningless stuff, pictures of a random dog or some wildflowers, talking about how beautiful the moon is. Total nonsense. Definitely seems like he's got a crush on someone. Detective Molly swiped through her phone, analyzing every detail with me. She didn't notice, though, that Nolan had sent me a message. Nolan, ouch. Me. Did you just bump into something? Sorry, that's my fault. I got too nervous. Nolan, sad puppy emoji. Nolan is usually so restrained and straightforward, but sometimes he'll surprise me with something cute, and the contrast is so strong. Nolan, I want to make up. Me. Okay, next time I'll make it up to you. Lily. Molly stopped, looking at me curiously. Who are you texting? You're just glued to the screen and giggling. Oh, just saw a cute puppy. I tried to change the topic, blurting out. I saw Felix today. It worked. Molly forgot all about Nolan. How was it? Did he see you? I gave her a brief rundown. leaving out the part about Nolan. Molly smirked. He's seriously out of control now. Next time, don't hit him yourself. I'm afraid he might actually enjoy it. Molly was right. Felix is seriously out of control right now. Late that night, just as I was about to fall asleep, our dorm group chat blew up. There's a guy kneeling outside Building C, whose love-struck puppy got left out in the rain. Someone snapped a photo and shared it in the group. Seeing Felix there, I nearly fainted. It was pouring outside, and he was kneeling in the rain, looking haggard and pitiful. Our dorm requires a key to get in. He couldn't come in, so he just kneeled there, waiting for me to come down. Honestly, I wouldn't have cared if Felix had collapsed by the roadside, but the student community is so small. If I didn't put a stop to this, the news would spread from London to Scotland by tomorrow. I just want to focus on school and peace, not be the main character in some drama. Fuming, I went downstairs. Felix, how far are you planning to take this? Felix's eyes lit up. Lily, you came to see me. I sneered, so eager to see me? Yeah, if you wanted to see me so bad. Where were you when I was dying last time? His smile faded completely. I'm so sorry, Lily. I know I messed up. Whether you believe it or not, in our previous life, I fell for you early on. But I was scared to face it, so I acted cold. Disgusting. Stop talking. Felix stubbornly blocked my way, continuing. I felt guilty in my heart. I owed Molly. Hearing Molly's name made me pause. Lily, before Molly died, she asked me to take care of you, and that's why I married you. But years into our marriage, I realized I had feelings for you. Felix's voice was hoarse, like an old flickering light bulb, and I was terrified. I felt I was betraying Molly. I pushed you away, brainwashed myself, numbed myself to feeling anything for you. And then I met Linda, who reminded me so much of her. To prove my loyalty to Molly, I treated Linda even better. I felt like I was hearing the world's biggest joke. Absolute comedy gold. With all that love, why didn't you stay on the yacht with me? I was reborn a bit later than you. When I opened my eyes, I saw you pushing Molly away. He looked frustrated. If only I'd woken up sooner, I'd have never let you stay behind. So what about when I had brain cancer then? He went silent. After a moment, he finally said, full of guilt. Sorry, I thought the brain cancer was just a lie you made up. Seeing that I wasn't going to budge, Felix dropped to his knees. Lily, give me another chance. I'll make it up to you, I swear. I shook my head, annoyed. Felix, we can only be strangers. I won't love you, and I won't hate you either. Because hate is such a strong feeling, and you don't deserve that. Felix's breathing stopped for a second. He still wanted to beg, but then we heard noise from the stairs. I opened the fire door, and there was Molly. She probably hid here because she was worried about what Felix might do to me. But now she looked pale. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. When I told her it was okay, Molly forced a smile. Can I ask a few questions? Go ahead. Was everything you talked about true? Yes, it was. Was it me who died in the last life? Yeah. Did I ask him to take care of you? Yeah. And then you got brain cancer and died? But before that, he was with my stand-in. Yeah. Molly was trembling all over. The next second, she rushed up and slapped Felix hard. What gave you the right to treat Lily that way? But a slap wasn't enough. She grabbed his collar, near frantic, her words like a cry of blood. Why did you do that to her? Tell me. How dare you use me as an excuse to hurt her? Why? Why, Felix? You think your second-rate love is worth something? This is a joke. Felix, in my eyes, you're not even worth a finger of my best friend. Felix didn't fight back. He looked at me, totally hopeless, as if still hoping for a bit of pity. I finally understood why Lily wouldn't see you. Molly kicked him away. Felix, you really don't deserve any better. She dragged me back up the stairs. That hit seemed to sap all of Molly's strength. Back in the room, she leaned on me, silent. I don't know how long we sat there before she cautiously asked. Did it hurt? What? The brain tumor. It must have hurt, right? Molly suddenly started crying. Lily, you must have suffered so much. Tears flowed down my face. Honestly, since the first time I died, I hadn't cried. No heartbreaks ever felt worth crying over. And yet, for some reason, hearing Molly say that, I couldn't control my tears anymore. That's what being best friends is all about. She could always see right through me, my frustrations, my pain. No matter how much I tried to hide, everything was exposed in front of her. I didn't respond, and Molly didn't press further. She gently patted me, like a belated comfort. It doesn't hurt anymore, Lily. It won't hurt again. The next day, Molly dragged me to get a checkup. The doctor said I was healthy. I told her not to worry. In my past life, the doctor said my illness came from stress and unhappiness. But now I'm happy, fulfilled every day, and won't get sick again. On the way home, Molly made a wish to a turtle in the pond. What are you doing? I asked. Shoo. I made a wish for you. For what? I wish my bestie to be like this turtle, healthy and long-lived. I was a bit touched but also annoyed. What's going on? Ever since learning about my past life, Molly has changed too. She doesn't just shop and play around anymore. She came back to work seriously, getting involved in the family business. She said she wanted to take down Felix's company to avenge me. Molly is a lot like her brother, quick to learn, decisive in her ways. Felix was so busy dealing with her that he had no time for me. I got some peaceful time because of it. Christmas came around. I made plans with Nolan. We talked about what's up with Molly. I said, aren't you going to stop your sister? No need. It's good practice for her. I almost spat out my drink. To Nolan, Felix was just practice. Honestly, if Molly didn't mess with him I would've. Why? He asked. Just don't like him. While I was lost in thought, Nolan leaned in and kissed me. Stop thinking about him. I'm not. I stopped liking him ages ago. He smiled. Good, now feel my abs. If you don't, all the work will be for nothing. It was snowing heavily outside, and the room was getting warm. This was my first night with Nolan. We were exhausted by midnight, about to sleep. I was just dozing off when I heard the fingerprint locker sound. Surprise! Lily! I came to spend the holiday with you. Molly was standing there with her suitcase. I got dressed and came out of the bedroom. You should have given me a heads up. I almost didn't hide your brother well enough. Just wanted to surprise you. Here, Christmas gift. How did you get up here? Someone swiped the door open, so I followed in. We exchanged gifts. I got her the latest smart glasses she wanted, standing in line all night to buy them on launch day. Molly tried them on, completely thrilled. After messing around, she was ready to rest. I'm exhausted. Just finished work, and caught the last flight to make it here for Christmas. Molly started heading to my bedroom. Hold on. I glanced at the closet nervously and stopped her. Sister, you've lost so much weight. Work does that. Don't worry though. When I take down Felix's company, I'll share some shares with you. She tried to hang her coat in the closet. Let me do it. I jumped. I'll hang it for you. Oh, okay. What's up? You seem a bit edgy. Because your brother's in my closet. I thought to myself. The CEO hiding in my little closet. After I hung Molly's coat, she was about to open the closet door when there was a sudden knock. Who could it be this late? Nobody usually comes here. And there's no peephole. I just opened the door. Felix stood there with gifts and roses. Molly rolled her eyes, persistent. Aren't you? What do you want now? Felix ignored her, focusing on me. Merry Christmas, Lily. I brought you a gift. He held out a plush toy, watching my reaction. It was something I once really wanted. Limited release every Christmas. Not pricey but hard to get. I knew Felix knew the designer. But he never gave it to me. He gave one to Linda instead when she came around. You used to really like it. Do you still? Felix asked carefully. I stopped liking it a long time ago, I replied. He seemed lost. Even if not, just hold on to it. You might like it again someday. Never happening. I pushed him towards the door, roses in hand. You're not welcome here. Lily, I know you lied about the boyfriend. You did it to get back at me. I get it. It was almost funny. Where did he get this confidence from? Hearing this, Nolan couldn't help but step out of the bedroom annoyed. Who are you calling fake? Felix, keep your distance and stop harassing my girlfriend. Felix was shocked, so was Molly, eyes wide open. 10 minutes later, both men left. It was just Molly and me in the room now. We stared at each other, and Molly seemed a bit miffed, not wanting to talk to me. Feeling guilty, I offered, if you mind me being with your brother, I'll break up with him right now. Friendship means more than a romance. Nolan would understand. That's not it, Molly hugged her arms. I'm mad because we're close, and you didn't tell me? Also, I'm his only sister. My brother ran off with my best friend? Unbelievable. Don't blame him. I told him not to tell you, but we promised to share if there's someone special. I sighed. It's my fault. I thought it might not last with your brother. Why? Is he bad to you? If he is, I'll hit him right now. No. He's great. That's the thing. He's too good. Nolan once told me he had never been in a relationship. I'm his first love. He said he was serious, that he was in it for marriage. Marriage, such a heavy word. I told Molly, feeling down. I married Felix once. And you know how that ended. Lily, are you scared? Molly saw right through me. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready. I don't know how to face your brother. What if we break up one day? It would be awkward for you. So, I think I should sort this out first before telling you. Molly quickly relaxed. I've always thought my brother's been acting weird these past years. How so? Don't you think it was too coincidental he sent out the lifeboat when he did? Plus, he's invested in a project abroad, focusing on brain tumors. What? I was a bit stunned. A bold thought popped into my head. Molly and I had the same idea. No way. Did he also reincarnate? I decided to find Nolan and get to the bottom of this. It was my first time at his place in the UK. The password was my birthday. Nolan didn't seem to be home. The study door was open, and the walls covered with brain cancer research caught my eye. How to prevent it, how to treat it. In the center was my picture. Molly took it at the college sports event. I was smiling, posing after the 100-meter run. Below the picture was a paper filled with details about me. She loves the sea, but after Molly's death she fears it. She loves a certain brand's bunny plush. Though limited editions come out every Christmas, she never got one. At 34, she found out she had cancer. To cheer her up, I often took her for checkups. Every word was filled with deep love. In my dark times, someone still cherished those moments. Nolan appeared at the door without me realizing. Knew you'd find out. I turned to him. So you're living this life again too? He nodded. I came back on the day of the shipwreck, sent the lifeboat immediately, just in time. When Nolan knew I was rescued, he suspected I was like him. Nolan, I never realized you had such feelings for me. He smiled. Back then, you only had eyes for Felix. I was just Molly's brother to you, not even a friend. If I confessed, you'd avoid not just me but Molly too. It's true. In my past life, I barely interacted with Nolan. After rejecting someone, I usually blocked and avoided them. When did you start having feelings for me? He pointed to the college photo. Before that. So in high school, when I went to Molly's house with friends, he had already noticed me. I remember him always politely asking, "Want some ice cream? Or fruit?" Turns out he was focused on me even back then. I had so many thoughts. Then remembered another thing. You never married in the last life. Yeah, it's because of you. Nolan admitted openly. After I died, he lived his life alone. When he passed, he was still holding an old hair tie. I left it there the first time I visited Molly's. It was the only thing he had of mine. Nolan said, "If I had known you weren't happy after getting married, I would've." You'd what? I would've taken you away. I looked into his clear eyes, stunned for a moment. Nolan, did you ever blame me? For what? Molly's death. You didn't break the yacht. You didn't cause the storm. Molly chose to go out to sea. Why would I blame you? He comfortingly tousled my hair. I don't blame you. Molly doesn't blame you, so don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. Finally, someone said it. My eyes teared up, almost crying again. Molly once told me their family had recently become wealthy. They regretted not having an education, so they focused on her and her brother's schooling. Molly didn't lie to me. The two siblings were raised really well. Lily, I've waited so long for you. Nolan kissed my forehead. Long enough to live a lifetime. I suddenly remembered his initial confession. Want to give dating a shot? So calm, so restrained. But the love unseen grew over the years into a rushing current. One day it came to me. It washed over my shattered life, piece by piece putting me back together. Lily, thank you. Thank me for what? I choked a bit. Thank you for finally noticing me. Nolan said contentedly. Time flew by. 2 years later, I graduated from grad school with honors. At the graduation ceremony, I was the representative speaker for outstanding graduates of our school. The siblings attended my graduation. Molly had changed a lot. She'd become a capable elite businesswoman, carrying herself like a CEO. The plan to acquire Felix's company would be completed this year. A few companies in the UK gave me offers to stay, but I chose to return home. It's my wish to use what I've learned to build my country. After starting work, I saw Felix a few times. It was usually for work or class reunions. Only once did I see him alone. The last time we met, He asked, Lily, have I changed? I glanced at him. Didn't notice. He was disappointed for a moment, then said, I lost weight, a lot of weight. Oh right, I wasn't really listening. I'm getting married. He froze. Married? Yeah, Nolan proposed to me. I'm really happy. The wedding's planned for later this year. They say when you're happy, you let go of a lot. That's how I feel now. Felix doesn't seem so annoying anymore. Are you coming? I can send you an invite. He forced a smile. Sure. Back then I didn't know. He couldn't make it. He was sick, with less than 6 months to live. My wedding with Nolan was a big deal. Molly was my bridesmaid. She was happier than anyone. My bestie became my sister-in-law. I won't ever have to worry about getting along. If she argues with my brother? Well, I'd definitely side with my sister. Sisters over everything. Brother? Who's that? Don't know him. Someone asked her, is your friendship really that strong? She laughed and said, we've been through life and death together twice. What do you think? Later, Nolan slipped the diamond ring on my finger. I told Nolan I do. Molly was in the audience, almost in tears. I used to think no one was good enough to be my sister-in-law. Now all I want to say is, Nolan, you lucky dog. After the wedding, Felix sent a gift through someone. The go-between said he was traveling far away. Might never come back. I said, oh, wish him a good trip. I pretended I didn't see his obituary. Life is like a fleeting journey. Felix has moved on to his next journey. I'm about to start a brand new life too. But you see, I already have someone I love deeply, and the best friend in the world. From now on, I will no longer fear the storms. The end.